Hello, beautiful souls of the light. Thank you for being here with me for our second live interaction of 2025. And welcome to some rather fiery energy right now. That internal fire that I speak of, rather than a heat, it's an increasing light radiating forth from you. Are you tuning into it? Are you feeling it right now? Let me know in the comments. This is soul's amplification happening. You can't deny it right now. It's reaching out and catching our personality, disarming it and saying, recognize who you are. Recognize the strength of soul. It's rising. Remember 2025, the 9 universal year, a year of soul empowerment. We can expect on a daily basis our higher truth to be felt constantly. You can't bury your head in the sand anymore, particularly if you're awake and aware and on the pathway to higher consciousness. So this inner fire that's burning within you, we're going to speak about what's causing it from a cosmic perspective. We're going to move on from last live that we did where we spoke about detachment, and thank you for your resonance. That was hugely popular with so many people. So we'll move on to the next step, which is letting go and allowing. And I'll give you a very simple 3-step process that you can practically apply anytime, anywhere, in any situation in your life to instantly know soul's direction and then act on it. And most of all, I trust that from today's interaction, you feel more in alignment with who you are and you decide to bring your power back from all of the external sources that you may have been siphoning off to, because there's certainly so much happening globally, so much chaotic mental energy that is vying for your attention and sucking you in to situations that really are out of your control. But when you give all of your focus to them, you've got nothing left for yourself. And that keeps you stagnant and stuck and not moving forward and not being the role model and the purposeful soul that you came here to be. So we don't want that. We want the opposite to that, which is empowerment. It takes awareness and it takes some work, but you can do it. You want to do it. So that's what we'll focus on this evening. Have pen and paper with you so you can make some notes as we move along as well. We won't be too long this evening. We'll keep it short and sharp and to the point. And if you are a member of my energy forecast, the tip-off, beautiful souls, your current tip-off is online now. Remember, we are now 2 weeks in advance in 2025. So right through until next Thursday, your forecasts are there. And everything that we cover in tonight's live is always in the tip-off for you. So every day we're working on aligning with your soul leading, being aware of the cosmic influences. It makes such a difference. Thank you. I honor you for your love and support. Now, over the last 4 or 5 days, there have been close to 20 M-class solar flares on the sun. That's huge. Firing off in succession. And we as human beings, energy beings, are directly attuned with the energy linkages that go from the sun to the earth. We feel it when the earth, when the sun is exploding with higher consciousness and sending its cosmic radiation and messages to us. It elevates the vibration, it shifts your frequency, it scrambles your messages, and it gets you up to a higher vantage point. That's why we can feel discombobulated when there are solar flares happening. It's like an energy shake, rearranges your atoms so that you can come back from a higher viewpoint in your life, particularly if you've been off track. That's the beauty of them. So that's been happening. It is solar maximum, so we can expect that. Jupiter moved direct this week. which means that your long 4-month overhaul of self-worth is over. Now it's time to put it to work. Your personality may be resisting that. It's time to act on your value and your worth. We'll touch on that again tonight. Mars will be moving direct in just over 2 weeks, once in 2-year retrograde. As I spoke about late 2024, that Mars retrograde helps you to have a positive use of masculine power, which is to uphold and uplift. That's the positive masculine. The positive masculine upholds and uplifts and fortifies us with their strength. Such a role model. It does not denigrate or pull down. That's the masculine working in the negative. But you would be experiencing both. You may be denigrating yourself. You may be projecting onto others. They may be projecting onto you. It's been a real ride, this Mars retrograde. Huge. Well, that's causing that fire within as well. And towards the last 2 weeks, you can feel those influences more. In the dying days of the retrograde, the intensity sharpens. So that's influencing us as well. There's a full moon coming next week, and this will be a particularly revealing one. So those hidden truths that are hiding in the shadows, watch out, because the lid's lifted. You can't hide anymore from yourself or anyone. We see you. You see you. You know you. The best thing to do is to accept, acknowledge, and do something about it. Be grateful for what you learn. Be grateful for it. And in 3 weeks from today, the first eclipse season of 2025 will begin. I love eclipse season. And I trust that you do by now too, because it is our cosmic cleansing and clearing, realigning, rebalancing, refocusing time of the year. It happens naturally. And we start preparing for the eclipse season weeks in advance. You've been preparing since December. You would have felt this shift come in your life around about mid-December. Life kind of became a little bit more work. You were asked to do a lot more, to step up and to make changes. And you could have been resisting it or going with it, or a combination of the two. But it hasn't been an easy road since about mid-December. Certainly 2025 started under quite a lot of weight that we're carrying, that we've got to cleanse and clear, but the eclipses will make it easier for us. So that's coming in too. So there's a lot going on right now. Remember, I always speak about the cosmic influences because they do impact you physically, mentally, and emotionally. And the soul uses those influences to get its messages through to your personality, to wake you up so that you move through your life consciously, growing your wisdom, having a life that's one of ease and grace, and you feel calmer and you create less chaos around you because you know. It's beautiful, isn't it? So detachment, the key theme of 2025, is all about letting go and allowing. And oftentimes we fear letting go because we don't know what else is coming. There'll be a void or a gap, or the unknown is scary. But here's what's happening, and you may have noticed this too. There's so much new lining up for you right now that I guarantee you, the moment you decide to let go of something, and all the signs around you will tell you this is over. You just does not serve you anymore, this situation. Let it attrition of itself. Let it go. Stop worrying about it. Move to something else. The minute you decide that, the new steps in. The door flings open instantly. So you'll have something there to take its place. Something that's more in alignment with you. And when you get used to that process, you'll want to let go because you know something incredible is waiting for you instantly. So here's a process to practice. Let's imagine a situation in your life. You've just had a difficult phone call and it's thrown you off course. It's worried you, it's concerned you, and you want to get back on track immediately without going over and over in your mind for hours or days on end, and then you're off course after you've just done so much work to bring yourself back in. Here's what you do. Number one, you recognize there's a problem, there's an issue, and you take yourself off somewhere for 5 minutes. You can do it at work, you can go into the restroom, you can go into your car, you can step outside for a moment. I've got to run an errand, whatever it is. Do it. Breathe in for the count of 4 and out for the count of 4. That brings you straight away into your heart. And acknowledge what is. Acknowledge what's just happened. Be realistic. Number one, acknowledge what is. Say it out loud. Admit it to yourself. Admit how you feel. All of it. And then number two, go into your heart and ask soul, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? And wait and listen within. You may receive a feeling or words or a knowing. And then when you've got it, act on your own advice. That's number 3. Follow your own advice immediately. Even if at first you can't decipher what soul's telling you, because it takes practice. And if you are so busy, focused on the world around you, it's not your norm to slow down and go within. So it does take practice, but you'll get there. With acting on your own advice, you may not be used to it. You may be used to just writing it down or not even writing it down and then going on with your old patterns. So break the code, break the pattern, and slow down and take your own advice. Act on it. Even if you don't take your own advice, you have created a new rhythm in your life simply by acknowledging that there is wisdom within you and that it is making sense. So much sense. You can't not hear it. So that simple process, number 1, acknowledge what is, be honest. Number 2, go into soul, the heart space, and ask, what do I do with this? And number 3, act on your own advice. That little 3-step process takes a couple of minutes. You can do it multiple times a day. That is letting go and allowing. That's it in a nutshell. The next step from detachment. Practice it and let me know how you go. It will help you. These are very, very interesting energy days we're in. The more aware and composed you can be, you'll be able to move through this from a higher vantage point, and you will be less wounded and damaged because of what is going on around you. And we all want that for ourselves, don't we? We don't want to inflict our pain on others either. We need to be self-responsible. That's what an empowered soul is, and this will help you with it. All right, beautiful souls, thank you. Do leave me a comment in this live. I'll come back in after the live on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, and I'll interact with you then. I love doing that. And thank you for sharing these videos as well. It really is making a difference in people's lives this year. You can feel the power building, can't you? 25 years it's been for me on this spiritual path of teaching now, and every year just becomes more and more interesting. Always growing, always learning, always being inspired. I love you. Thank you for your light and your presence. And as always, we'll speak again very soon.